floodgates are about to open, everyone, because the team from Dune Awakening and Funcom just wrapped up a big conference circuit where they went to like GDC and PAX and some other events in the US and just returned home. And all of a sudden this morning, like my social media is being flooded by people who've got early reactions to things they saw, screenshots that are coming out, previews. I know there's some new trailers, not trailers per se, but reaction videos coming out from the team. There's a lot going on, and one of those things that they've shared, or one of the things that's come out recently, is IGN did a video talking about some of the things that are coming in the pipeline. Now, we've already seen this footage for those of you who have been waiting with bated breath for Dune Awakening like I am. I've already seen all of this footage, but it's interesting to hear someone else's takes. We're going to give this a listen to. It's called Dune Awakening, the first preview, and this is the takeaway after a bunch of the stuff that they were able to see from the hands-on presentations at the conferences, and it's great stuff for those of you who might be interested in Dune Awakening. I know I'm going to be playing the hell out of this game. Can't wait for those of you out there who haven't heard about this or don't know anything about it to learn a little bit more. So let's go ahead and take a listen to IGN's first preview from Dune Awakening.
As a massive fan of survival games and Dune, I'll admit to being a bit skeptical about an open-world survival game that takes place on the famously barren planet of Arrakis. But after an hour-long presentation of the upcoming Dune Awakening, those concerns have disappeared entirely.
That's really, really good to hear. It's good to hear that someone who likes games but wasn't entirely sure and just needed some persuasion but was able to see an hour presentation, an hour of footage and everything else and say, you know what, actually I'm really, really excited about this. This is great news for those of you who are like, oh, I hope Funcom's going to do a good job with Dune. I don't think we have anything to worry about, everybody.
On the hands-off showcasing of what's to come when this MMO survival game hits early access later this year, it certainly appears that developer Funcom...
I'm sorry. So I don't know if that's a confirmation or if that's just the writer making something up, but he did say early access coming later this year.
Has taken their hard-won learnings from the underrated Conan Exiles and applied it to this ambitious multiplayer world set in one of sci-fi's most beloved galaxies.
Nice.
Whether it was the impressively detailed character creation options, the intricate RPG systems filled with skill trees and craftables, or the absolute insanity of trying to outrun a Shai-Hulud or escape a massive sandstorm.
You're not going to get away.
Dune Awakening appears to be on track to become the sci-fi survival game I've always dreamt of, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it.
Arrakis is a test.
So this is their hands-on preview of things they saw, and one of the things I wanted to talk about really quickly is because I've seen some screenshots floating around now on X this morning of the character creator, not the new character creator, but just the character creator. There's new screenshots coming out from the character creator, and it looks absolutely fantastic.
Few survive it.
How do you make a survival game set in an utterly desolate wasteland of sand? Well, according to Funcom, the answer lies in the hidden spaces of Arrakis. Described in Frank Herbert's novels, these hidden pockets of shade and refuge are home to life and microbiomes that will be altogether unfamiliar to those who have only seen the movies. But Dune Awakening hopes to lean pretty heavily on their existence to fill the massive desert with things for players to do.
This goes into, a lot of people have talking about environmental storytelling, and when you have a world that is richly detailed and described in the books and then shown in the most recent films, and they're drawing upon both sources for this game, I think, and I know people who love Conan Exiles will speak to this, and if you want to do that in the comments below. One of the things Funcom does a very good job at is just laying out like the groundwork of what is the world that you're living in and the lore of everything that's there. That doesn't necessarily translate into a narrative experience, which is something that I kind of lean more towards in the games that I really love a lot. Is I like the narrative driven games where I'm having dialogue one-on-one and it's cinematic storytelling. Environmental storytelling and lore storytelling is a little bit different. But I've seen some other previews coming out over the past couple of hours as I've been reading up on things here, and everyone's talking about how the lore of Dune was up front and center in everything they saw, which leads me to believe that Funcom is respecting the lore and they're doing the best that they can to make this a game that's going to feel like you're literally in the world of Dune and on the planet of Arrakis, which is really cool.
Whether that be finding a pocket of shelter to build a base in,
By the way,
delving
there's a
into
lot
a
to
cave
that.
that's home to hostile creatures,
Because it's way more than just exploration. It's also the great houses, it's the land threat, it's the Chome group. Like, how are all these interacting with each other for PvP and PvE? And there's a whole bunch going on here, above and beyond just the crafting survival component.
or taking down remote enemy bases in search of loot and resources. In fact, the wide open empty spaces filled with hot sand might be more of an asset than a hindrance, as it allows for a heat stroke mechanic where players are punished for spending time in direct sunlight with some pretty devastating debuffs, meaning players will instead need to dart from shelter to shelter, battling the elements as they explore the world and its many hidden spaces. Combined with the forever game of the floor is lava that is dodging sandworms of Arrakis, players will need to remain on the move constantly and develop strategies for managing their water reserves, protecting against the heat, and of course, engaging in the never-ending struggle for all-important spice.
Yeah, videos, man. Spice, by the way, spice addiction is a real thing in this game, and I'm totally gonna be a spice addict. Like, I'm gonna go for the abilities. It's funny because in Baldur's Gate 3, I resisted because I didn't want to take the tentacle. I don't want the tadpoles, but I'm definitely going to be doing spice. I want all the abilities, man.
Plague of the demo, players work together to claim a massive deposit of spice.
Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand.
While keeping an eye out for the ever-looming threat of the Shai-Hulud, drawn to their activity in the desert, only to be unexpectedly overwhelmed by a sandstorm instead, which swallowed them and their precious cargo along with them.
Perfect.
In another section, a group of players work together to infiltrate a high-level facility filled with rare materials and dangerous enemies, making sure to harvest the blood of fallen baddies to replenish their rapidly depleting water reserves. Before the demo, I had a lot of questions about how a Dune survival game would even work without becoming extremely monotonous in short order, but by the end, I found myself wondering why in the heck someone hadn't made one sooner. Seeing all the clever ways Dune Awakening plans to make brilliant use of Dune's unique lore made me a believer.
It's a good place to be, sir. Nothing wrong with believing in something.
Beyond the major things Dune Awakening aims to get right, the demo also included all these little details that took my hype to the next level, like how they showed off an incredibly detailed character creation engine that included things like choosing your home planet and origin to decide some of your starting traits and aspects of your appearance, or how the in-depth skill trees and crafting system allowed you to drastically augment your playstyle from a telekinetic mentalist with a bag of supernatural tricks to run-and-gun soldiers with a bag of high explosives.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
As someone who has spent a good deal of time with the Dune tabletop RPG, dreaming up the characters I'd like to portray in that universe, this looks like it'll scratch an itch I've had for decades.
Perfect.
And I absolutely cannot wait to get my hands on it when it hits early access later this year.
So you brought that up again. Early access later this year. All right.
Survive it. But the humans that do awaken.
For more, check out our recent preview.
Yeah, we're good. I'm excited, everybody. There's a lot to see and love and explore in Dune, and I think that it's in good hands as far as I can see. I don't have any negatives about anything I've seen. I know that I haven't always enjoyed everything I've seen from Funcom, but that doesn't mean they make good games. End of story. Like, it's kind of like I'm playing Dragon's Dogma 2 right now. I have things I love, things I don't love. I'm playing what did I just play recently? Sifu. Things I love, don't love. Every game that you play is going to have things that you love, and I've seen nothing so far from the Dune Awakening footage that I don't love so far. Now, I'm sure there will be things once I get my hands on it that I'll be like, it's not my favorite thing in the world. Like, I don't like PvP, and I very openly really don't like PvP, and I'm hoping it's optional PvP. I'm very hopeful. Anyway, Dune Awakening, hands-on preview. It's a really cool insight into what IGN's experience was, but there's a ton of other reports coming out on social media, so I would say stay tuned. I'll be doing reaction videos to more stuff, and of course, as new information comes out from the conferences, I will, of course, be covering that and bringing you guys more Dune Awakening news here on the channel. So make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams here on Twitch. There's a Patreon and a Discord. I'll see everybody in the next one. Stay safe. Stay awake, sleepers.